next here on I2Y Kansas City today. We are going to be talking more on development in terms of buildings, in terms of commercial properties here on this edition of I2Y Kansas City, in terms of a grocery store and a downtown hotel. And of course, we have an election preview that we will give you for the general elections coming up next month on the 23rd of next month. So we'll have the who's going to be on the ballot issue that we'll go over here on I2Y Kansas City. And we will have an update on the future of Kemper Arena. So stay tuned for all that next here on I2Y Kansas City. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us here on I2Y Kansas City. It's been a pleasure for you to join us once again for this latest edition of our broadcast today. We'll get to some of the details of why we haven't been on the air a little bit later on in our broadcast. It's a little bit tricky, but I think I can explain it. Alright everyone, what I want to do, and give me just a second. Isn't it? What I want to do is go over the general election, the sample ballot, and you can find it on kceb.org. So that way, if you want to follow along with what I'm going to give you, is exactly what I'm going to give you today here on the program. So just log on and just download the sample ballot for the June 23rd municipal general election. The absentee voters the absentee voting has already began on May 12th. So election day is on June 23rd. You have time to get registered to vote. If you haven't done so already, do it. I'm tired of these low election turnouts, and we got to start doing it. We got to start showing out. We got to start being big. This is why we have issues kind of like Baltimore, in which I will talk a little bit later on in our broadcast today. Alright, so get out there and vote. Make your votes count. Y'all talk about some of my people that are my age and look my age a little bit. You got to start turning out to vote. You got to. There's no reason why you're not voting. There's no reason why you can't vote. You're not invalid. People have died for your right to vote. So get your butts up and vote. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I am definitely going to say. Get your butts up and vote. Enough is enough with the empty excuses. Enough is enough of why you can't participate in a political system that was built on democracy, that was built on fairness. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say that, Galvin, this system isn't built on fairness. You just talked about one of the examples of why the system isn't fair. Well, we gotta change it wrong. That's what we gotta do, and voting is one of the steps of how we do that. We gotta right this wrong, and voting is one of the ways that we do it. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the sample, the people who are going to be the candidates on the ballot on June 23rd. And starting off is with the mayor candidates, and running for a re-election, as you all know, our favorite mayor, Mayor Sylvester Sly James, and of course Vincent Lee is who is running to take over Sly's seat. Now, I'm going to give you districts 1 through 6 in terms of the at-large seats. So this is districts 1 through 6. Starting off with the first district at large is Scott Wagner and Jeff Roberts. For the second district is Teresa Lohr and Jay Hodges. For the third district, third district at large is Quentin D. Lucas and Stephen Gordon. And for the fourth district at large seats is Jim Glover and Catherine Shields. For the fifth district at large is Lee Barnes, Dennis Anthony, And for the 6th district at large is Scott Taylor. For the council member for the 3rd district, and these are the regular council member seats, is for 3rd district, Jermaine Reed and Jamkia Kendricks. Hopefully I pronounced her name right. Jamkia, if I didn't pronounce your name right, I want to apologize ahead of time. And for the 4th district, Jolie Justice and John Fierro for those seats up for grabs. And for the 5th district council member, Alyssa Kennedy and Kenneth Backus. And for the 6th district, finally, Kevin McNinnis and Terrence P. Nash. And also on the ballot, you're going to have about 4 people to vote on for the municipal judges for the 16th Judicial Circuit. For the municipal judges. That will be on the ballot. There will be 6 names that you will be voting yes or no on June 23rd. So get registered to vote. Log on to kcmoresources.weebly.com if you haven't done so to get registered to vote. That is free. It is free. I can't beat the word free enough around. It is free. We don't ask of nothing. All we ask of you to do is vote. Get registered to vote and vote. Do it. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with some of the latest news here in Kansas City. And here's the latest Facebook shout-outs. iTalk Kansas City will continue after this.
For this reason. It's common sense. With Metro PCS, I only spend $30 a month.
$30.
Unlimited data, talk, and text. And on top of that, Metro puts me on T-Mobile's fast nationwide network.
Who taught you about Metro?
You did, baby.
Who taught you about common sense?
You did.
Oh, see?
Metro PCS introduces our best deal ever. Nationwide, unlimited data, talk, and text. $30, period.
The turkey deserves your respect. It was this close to being America's national bird, and if Ben Franklin had his way, it would have been. Arby's pays respect to this venerable bird by smoking it over real mesquite wood for 8 hours. No disrespect to the eagle, but it never would have tasted this good. Arby's, we have the meat.
Hey, Hunter, need some pointers?
Just around the house.
Yeah, should do it then.
I love this free store pickup.
Yeah, it's also great when you're on tour. Just order online, we'll have it waiting for you the same day. You know, I bet there's an Ace within a golf swing of just about anywhere.
Really?
Oh, you don't need to...
New mailboxes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Drive safely, Hunter.
Thanks again, Mike.
It isn't easy talking about hemorrhoids, and I've lived with hemorrhoid pain for years, but painful surgery just sounded worse. Then I heard about the non-surgical IRC treatments available from Midwest Hemorrhoid Treatment Center, and it's been unbelievable. After the treatments, no more pain. IRC really works. Don't suffer any longer. Call them today and get on with the rest of your life. I'm sure glad I did.
In North Kansas City, next to the hospital, and on Knoll at 112th Street in Leawood.
One minute, you're taking a live look at the Country Club Plaza. A lot of those fountain there and at Mill Creek Park. I believe that is Mill Creek Park. Yep, it is. Taking a nice day out there. All right, let's turn our gears. We told you about the election preview. Decision 2015 election preview. Now we're going to move our gears to an update on Kemper Arena. Now this is, the city is taking bids and proposals on what to do with Kemper Arena. The future of Kemper Arena seems kind of dim a little bit. However, the city wants to get some bids and proposals. However, here's the catch-22 here. The property cannot be released until bonds, about a $4 billion bond is paid off from the improvements and remodeling and the restoration of Kemper Arena is all paid off in full, and it is not released until April 15th, 2016. So they can't release that Kemper Arena site until the bonds are paid off. Now let's take a look at some specifics in terms of the proposals that is on the table in terms of what is going to happen. In October of 2015, this year, the City Council and the Mayor and the City will review proposals. In November, there will be the release, there will be negotiations of the winning bidder and proposal. So this is all what the process kind of sounds similar to something else here in Kansas City in terms of what the Kansas City Public Schools already does in terms of finding the best buyer for some of these vacant and abandoned school properties that they have up for sale. And we're going to look into that issue here in just a moment. So don't go anywhere with that. We're just hold on to that thought, because I am going to elaborate on that a little bit further on. But one soon outgoing council member says that this is a possibility to find out whether that the Kemper Arena will either get some bids or it won't get anything, and it would mean demolition for Kemper Arena. And I think that is a bunch of waste of money if you do that. Just my opinion. We wasted $4 billion over some bull. That's just me. Now, in the area of Kemper Arena is American Raw, rather, and there was a recent announcement of the American Raw barbecue competition moving over to the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The barbecue contest is being moved due to housing more people for this contest. American Raw says that there's always been an increased interest in the barbecue competition, but never had the room to do so in the Kemper Arena site. So the Arrowhead Stadium presents its opportunity to expand and add on more people for the contest. Alright, it is uncertain, the future is uncertain on whether the American Raw headquarters will move from the West Bottoms or not. Alright everyone, what I want to do is jump into the latest of development in terms of properties, commercial properties here in Kansas City. Now, there was a recent announcement with an 800-room convention hotel. Now, this would fill the void of what the city has long had to deal with when it came to turning down and getting rejected with conventions. This 800-room hotel would cost $300 million, or is going to cost $300 million. But the tab that taxpayers will pick up is $39 million. It would employ 350 employees, and it will be completed 3 years from now. The city, without having the convention hotel itself, the city has lost 655 events, and I'm sure which has equated a big economic loss for the city. The Hyatt is expected to run the hotel. Of course, remember the Hyatt Regency. Well, that is going to be the same company that is going to run this 800-room hotel. The construction is expected to start sometime later next year. And here's one piece of the pie that would solve the city's finance problem, as well as the $39 million, should I say, not billion, but million with an M. Is a community 1% tax community district that will be surrounded by the 800-room hotel. there is that piece of news. Now, moving on to another piece of news is a grocery store that is coming to one part of town that really is in a food desert. Now, we talked about what a food desert was a couple of months back here on I2I KC. And this grocery store is going to be right where we had that report on 31st and Prospect, the former home of a Thriftway grocery store. It had opened in 1986 and went through a lot of changes with names, from Country Mart to Thriftway, and it was Thriftway when it closed back in 2007 due to the poor quality of the store. Now, let's take a look at the cost proportion of what's going on with this grocery store. It's going to cost an additional $11.5 million for the demolition. And now that is, of course, what I said, an additional cost to the $950,000 to purchase this property. The city has an extension to this grocery store. The city has purchased the Linwood Shopping Center, which has went in through the decline of over the years. So the city is has purchased it and is going to try to redevelop it. There is no TIF funds used. The city points out there is no TIF funds that is going to be used to help Sunfresh. That is the new name of the grocery store that is going to be built in its place. Current tenants, excuse me, as my allergy is coming up. And these were figures given by the Kansas City Star with the $11.5 million and a $950K price tag was given by the Kansas City Star. There's not going to be any TIF funds that is going to be used for this project as well. All right, everybody, I'm going to go to my final word in terms of the issues of the unrest in Baltimore. And I'm going to start off once again being disappointed with the rioting and the damage of that city. And I know the damage has already been done. The rioting has pretty much been done and over with. But I would like to smack the hell out of the media for continuously, when things happen like this, they are always there somewhat trying to stir up the pot a little bit. And we don't need to stir up the pot. People have a right to be mad over a young man's death. But don't go out there tearing up your own city. On the extension of that thought, I heard people, who are not of color talk about why these people are rioting. They're tearing up their own city. Well, let's not forget that rioting, this isn't the new issue of rioting. Riots have went back to 1968, and even before 1968 has been some rioting going on. So this isn't the first time, and I hate to say it ain't going to be the last time, and there's going to be another city added on that list. And as soon as I said that, it was another issue that has took place, and I forgot the other city, and I know I'm going to get it after the show ends. I just know it. But when will this stuff end? When will it end? If we're serious about ourselves, we need to stop rioting. I respect those who are protesting and trying to get their voice heard, because that's what Dr. King did. That's what many others have done. But we've got to do it in a way that is respectful and that is going to get our voices heard. And first half of the show I talked about voting. Well, that's what we got to do. That's a great piece of the puzzle on how we get our voices heard. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. This is how we get our voices heard. This is how democracy is pretty much released. And before we go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get off that high horse. But it is unfortunate how this country is shaping up and how the media kind of feeds into that. But before we go, our show has been off the air for quite some time, and I'm going to say that for most of you, you already know that this is not new news. Well, we had a falling out with our contract here at I2IKC, and you know, the channel in which you're watching this on is the new owners of I2IKC for the short time being. And this new contract with I2IKC is not going to last too long, and I want to be up front with you all, and I want you all to hear it from me first, not from anything else. I2IKC is going to be going off the air at some point. We don't know, but it's not going to be in August like I told you. It's going to be somewhat earlier than that. So we're going to enjoy our time here as long as I can. I don't want you all to cry. I don't want you all to be disappointed. You know, this is how it works sometimes in this business. And when things don't come out the way that you want it, you don't get disappointed. You move on, and that is something that we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue on. I'm going to continue on the passion of getting you all registered to vote and telling you how it is, because that's what I got to do. But I won't be able to do it here on this show and during this platform. But I've been blessed, and I am going to say that because I have been blessed. I'm not disappointed, and I'm not going to put my heads down in my knees and tell you to be sad, because that is the way to go. That is the way to be, and I'm not going to do it. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to say goodbye. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.